Hi there, my name is Ant Fariello, and this is something I scripted in Unreal Script. Pretty much I'm working on a game that has vehicles in it, and so what this is doing is it's dynamically spawning tread marks in the car, so when the car drives, there's tread marks that are left behind by the tires. Alright, so let's just look through this really quick, and pretty much what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up a conditional at the very top, and all it's really saying is to make sure that the booster is activated and that the vehicle is going at a certain speed. Also have a few things in there to make sure that the vehicle is on the ground. So, because you don't want it to be spawning decals in the middle of the air. Okay, so next, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm looking at sockets that have been attached to the vehicle inside of UDK. And with that, I am storing that socket's location and that socket's rotation into variables. So if we jump into UDK and I turn on the socket manager, you can see right here that I have these sockets in the car. I have one on the left tire, one on the right tire, and I have one pretty much in the center of the body. So they'll spawn from back there in the back tire. Okay, so after that, I'm going to go ahead and parent the material instances to the decals. And as you can see here, I have a time variant and a material instant constant. So let's go back into the editor really quick. And let's just go into this parent material really quick. So when you open that up, you can see that there's nothing really fancy going on here. It's got something driving the opacity, something driving the color, and a texture sample. These are all parameters, so we can change them through code very quickly. If we open up the material instance time variant, this is pretty much like a material instance constant, only you can set a duration on it, and once the duration triggers, it will automatically fade out the decal, or the material itself. So if you open it up, you can see I just got a few settings set. I got auto activate on, and then in the curves I have pretty much the time, and it's saying come in at 0 and leave at 1, and then the next one comes in at 2 and it leaves at 0.1. So it's pretty much just fading out. So let's look at the other decal material we got here, and this one is like a ground texture as if the vehicle kind of tore up the ground. So this occurs when the vehicle reaches a certain speed. Pretty much this setup here is so that the material can fade in with a pattern. So this gradient over here is going to cause it to fade in like that, like upward. So let's plug this parameter back in so that I can access it in code. And then let's jump back over to Visual Studio. Okay, so a few lines here, say my decal manager, and these are the lines that actually spawn the decal. So pretty much it'll store this into the first variable that you pass it, and then there's a few other things here, like location and rotation, and then the size and how long the decal should last for. So as we make our way down the code, we can see here that we're spawning a particle system, and this is pretty much just dust that gets kicked up as the car's boosting. And then after that, we despawn the particle system once the car stops boosting.
Yep.
So next I went ahead and took care of the torn up ground decal that gets spawned when the player reaches a certain speed. And pretty much here we're just making sure that no more than 4 decals are spawned for each player. So once 4 get spawned, the 5th one will despawn from the environment. And to make it not pop out of the environment, here's a dissolve in and out. So pretty much this first chunk is having the decal fade in when the player boosts. And this second chunk of code is to have one of the decals fade out once it reaches its limit of 5 decals per player. So lastly, here I got the particle system that's spawning when the player boosts. And it's pretty much just a dust cloud that gets kicked up. Nothing too crazy, just a few emitters. So that's it. So let's just see what this looks like in game.